In the wild, unless you're sitting at the top of the food chain, everything is trying to eat you. In order to survive, you either gotta get fast, get hiding, or get creative. One creature that's developed a shocking but effective defense.
Did that thing just iguana just shot like this? Looked like a tongue out of his eyeball.
Bruh.
So to mislead his prey, instead of coming out of the mouth, just shot out of the eye. That's nuts.
Mechanism is none other than the electric eel, able to spontaneously generate.
The eel is a fucking disturbing creature, bro. Just look at it. It looks fucking weird. And the fact that it's underwater, but it can shock you. I mean, how does the electricity even work underwater? I mean, obviously, water is a conductor, so I understand that concept. But how is this creature got the power of Thor flowing through its veins? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell?
High voltage pulses of electricity. So what do you think happens when a vicious predator like the caiman, the Amazon's equivalent of a crocodile, tries to take a bite out of an electric eel? Will it get the shock of its life, or is it lights out for the cranky caiman?
Interesting, very interesting. Don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe, guys. I need you. Please subscribe.
On your tongue, you'll know that electricity tastes too.
Yeah, we've all done that. I mean, as kids, as youths. What does this battery taste like? Let me just check. That's fun, man. I mean, the same thing if you put like an ant on your tongue. Like everyone did that as kids.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That acidic taste. But the little 9-volt battery gave you a bit of a hello. So, can you imagine what the eel can do to you? I've been shocked from an electrical outlet before changing a light bulb. I changed the whole housing of the unit of the, and I'm not an electrician by any, I'm not a qualified electrician. I'm just like a standard DIY kind of guy trying to fix something in my house, trying to save a buck by not employing someone to do it, but trying to do it myself. Put the light off at the mains, everything on the DB board, flip the switch, lights are off. Went to the actual light, took the housing off, replaced the housing, stripped the wires, did everything, but my mistake was I left the light switch on. The actual wall plug, the switch was on, so there's obviously some kind of current still flowing through. I'm not an expert, I said some current flowing through there. As soon as I changed the wires to reseal the shit, I accidentally touched it.
Woo! I got a shock, lucky.
I flew off that, I jumped off the ladder that I was on. It was like a little 2-step ladder. Jumped. And I flew off there from the shock, and I was like, whoo, okay, I was awake. After that, I was wide awake. But luckily, it wasn't a hectic shock. It was just a little bit of something, but I could feel it flowing through my hands. It runs and circulates through your hands up to your arm. You can literally feel it flowing. It's nuts.
Terrible.
Yes.
There's also that unpleasant, painful jolt in your mouth, kind of like licking an electric fence.
Yeah.
Now imagine ramping that battery up from 9 volts all the way to 860 volts. And you're starting to get an idea just how much biting an electric eel sucks. So how do
860 volts
deliver such a powerful shock? What can that much electricity do to a human being? And did the caiman make it out alive? We'll have to stick around to find out.
That is what it felt like when I touched it, when I was doing that light bulb change thing. It wasn't as extreme, but I got a nice kick out of it.
Out. Electrophorus electricus, otherwise known as the electric eel, is a curious fish. Despite having the word eel in its name and looking exactly like one, they're not eels at all. In fact, they're part of the Gymnotiformes family of knife fish and are more closely related to a catfish or carp.
That thing looks disturbing. If you're swimming and you come across that thing, I would die instantly. Never mind being shocked, I would just die from the sight of that thing.
A traditional eel. Up until 2019, it was believed there was only one species of electric eel. That was before an expedition found and classified 2 more species,
860 volts.
Electrophorus vari and Electrophorus volti. Growing up to 8 feet long,
thing is huge.
weighing as much as 44 pounds, you'll find electric eels throughout the northeast of South America,
Thank goodness we don't have
the Amazon and Orinoco river basins.
Thank goodness we don't have those things here in SA. I don't think we do, but I've never seen one or heard of one in Cape Town or East South Africa. Keep that shit in the South America. Mexico, you can keep that shit.
They love lurking through slow-moving freshwater creeks and swamps, using their secret superpower to stun and kill their diet of fish, shrimp, amphibians, and sometimes even small mammals. For centuries, the indigenous tribes of Venezuela called the electric eel a rhymna, or something that deprives you of motion. To catch these slimy, sparky treats, tribesmen used to drive herds of wild horses into the eel-infested ponds. The horses' hooves would churn up the mud and bring all the eels to the surface, where they would leap out of the water and attack. The tribesmen would wait until the swarm of rapidly discharging eels had run out of juice before jumping in and catching.
Shame, so they just let the horses. They just let the horses take the brunt of the eel and just getting shocked by these poor things. That's cruel, man.
One or two for dinner. This technique was witnessed by Prussian explorer Alexander von Humboldt, who in 1800 became utterly fascinated by this mystical creature. In a remote rainforest village in Venezuela called Los Llanos, Alexander set up a series of crude experiments to test the strength of the electric eel's shock. Now, when I say crude, I mean crude. There were no voltimeters or amperage meters. Humboldt would simply grab the eel and objectively rate the power of each electric jolt. After 4 hours of experiments and some seriously shocking blasts, Alexander reported that his muscles ached well into the next day. Despite knowing that electric eels packed a seriously heavy electric punch, it would be at least 100 years before scientists would figure out how they did it. The secret to an electric eel's shocking talent lies in 3 pairs of specialized organs throughout their abdomen. There's the main organ, which spans half the dorsal section of the eel, Hunter's organ, which runs the length of the eel's underbelly, and Sachs organ, which makes up the dorsal part of the eel.
I mean, these creatures are so intricate, they're so evolved, they're so like ahead of the game. Just shows you like what evolution can do. Imagine if humans evolved to the point where we could like shock things, or where we could fly, or where we could have like, let's say, the vision of a hawk or sorry guys, that's my dogs. They just keep I'm at home filming during the day, and I film at night once everyone is asleep. My daughter, my wife, my dogs.
Eel's tail.
Wow.
These organs contain hundreds of thousands of modified muscle cells called electrocytes, arranged in perfect rows. Similar to the cells of a battery, the organization and stacking of these electrocytes allows a current of charged ions to flow through them, building current as it charges up. Electric eels also use the electrocytes in their Sachs organ to emit a steady stream of weak electric pulses to create a field around themselves. This field is used for communication and active electrolocation.
It's like a bat using radar.
In their dark, murky environment. So, how do electric eels use these 2 voltage attacks to take down prey or defend themselves from predators? After sensing a disturbance in the water, electric eels emit 2 or 3 strong pulses, as much as
That's crazy!
These high voltage pulses act like a taser, hijacking the animal's nervous system, causing the prey to violently twitch in the water. This sudden movement generates waves that reveals the animal's hiding place.
That is so like advanced. That is like this guy's bred, and everything about is evolved and bred to be like the perfect hunter. Sends out shock waves to find out where there's disturbances in the water. Once he senses disturbances a few meters away, he sends out a stronger shock wave that's gonna immobilize the prey and cause their body to violently twitch due to the central nervous system being disturbed. Then, based on the twitching in the water, he knows exactly where to put, or he or she, and let's not gender base this, the eels, let's not assign a gender to this eel. Then they know where to go to catch the actual, based on the movement from the prey that's been immobilized. They know exactly where to go and find that prey, because the water's obviously murky, as they said. It's like basically black, you can't see it, dark, you can't see anything. That is so advanced. Can you imagine that technology, if the human beings could use that technology more effectively? I suppose we do use that if you think of like submarines and the military applications with radar and all those types of things. So I suppose we kind of do. But for an animal, just to have that naturally in its body and in its system, that is nuts to me. I think that's crazy.
This all happens very quickly. Eels are able to temporarily stun fish in less than 3/1000ths of a second. Once the prey is immobilized, the electric eel can swallow its meal whole. Oh, and if that's not terrifying enough, by curling up, the electric eel can actually make the discharges even more intense by overlapping the electric fields generated at each end of the electric organ. You're not just in danger in the water either. Electric eels are known for leaping out of the water, pressing...
What? you could just be chilling there, the thing will jump up and give you a little kiss on the chin or on the neck and shock the shit out of you. That's crazy.
Their chin on you for an even more intense shock. So why is this? When an eel is completely submerged, the current is conducted by the water, closing the loop. When they leap out of the water and press their chin, the positive pole, against their target, the electrical current is forced to travel through the body of the target to reach the negative pole. The end result? An even bigger shock. Scientists measured this in an experiment using a prosthetic arm fitted with electricity sensors that lit up when activated. When the arm was placed into
That
the
is
tank,
crazy.
the eel leapt out of the water.
This thing is a killing machine. And it's so brilliant, and it's such a evolved and smart predator. Why are we not making a bigger fuss of this? I don't know any of this. What the hell?
Water, causing the highest discharge from just underneath its chin. How are you at handling electric shocks? Are you brave enough to swim with an electric eel? Let us know in the comments below. So, we know electric eels regularly take down small fish. But what about larger animals? Curious dogs are no match for the speed of charge of an electric eel. In fact, one shock sends this German Shepherd whimpering. But it's the Amazon caiman who finds itself often tussling with the electric eel, and it can be a flip of the coin who comes off second best. Sometimes, the warning pulses of an electric eel stop the caiman dead in its tracks. The ravenous reptile convulsing violently for a few seconds before regaining his composure and making a run for it. Other times, it's not so lucky. If a caiman manages to get a decent bite on the eel as the high-voltage shocks are discharged, his jaw clamps shut and the pair are locked in a shocking stalemate. Every one of the caiman's muscle fibers spasm uncontrollably before the reptile's heart finally gives out. So, could an electric eel kill a human being? We've long been testing how powerful an electric eel's shock is, and despite being mildly unpleasant in a laboratory setting, there doesn't...
But why would you want to do that? What if you come across a mega eel that nobody has discovered yet, that nobody knows about yet, and that will come up, jump up, and give you a little pip and shock the shit out of you? What if you come across that guy, you know? Just don't do it, man.
seem to be much harm to wiring yourself to an eel or touching one in a tank. While there are reports of people in South America drowning in shallow water after being shocked by an electric eel, to date, no one has officially been declared as being killed by an electric eel. So maybe you can handle one electric eel. But just when you start thinking about going for a swim in a Venezuelan swamp,
No.
a recent research expedition in the Amazon discovered that electric eels actually hunt in large packs and work together to deliver a supercharged volt of energy.
100 eels. If one eel can kill an alligator, imagine what 100 eels can do. Wow.
To attack and disable their prey. Up to 100 eels form a massive prey ball, circling their prey and repeatedly shocking them with insanely massive amounts of energy. I think I'll stick to the beach. It's easy to see why electric eels are called the taser of the Amazon. This slippery shocker is more than just an annoying zap of static electricity.
Don't do it!
Unless you're a fan of electro-torture, it's probably best to stay out of the water. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to drop a like. And if you're not already...
That was wild, guys. I mean, geez. The things that eel can do, it's evolved to such a point where it can find out where you are in the dark, shock the shiz nasal out of you, and just come and attack and eat them. And the way it jumps out, and the way just the fact that it knows if it jumps out of the water and gives you a little touch, it's going to cause more damage than if it was to shock you from the underneath the water. That is mind-blowing to me. These things are evolved. They are killing machines. Stay well away from them. I've never seen one in real life, but I'd really love to, but see it. There's no way in hell I'm dipping my hand in the fucking tank. I can tell you that for sure. I'll just watch from a distance. Oh, that's interesting, you know, and just look at them. But they're creepy looking as well. Jeez. Anyway, I digress. Guys, please comment, like, and subscribe. I really do appreciate your continued support. Thank you so much. Check you in the next one. Peace.